So now in this session, we are going to complete the biggest special contract that is applicable for exam, which is the contract of agency. So in the last class we completed what is this concept of agency, and two parts. Totally agency chapter is divided into three parts. In the two parts we already completed in the last class. So in this session we are going to complete the balance part of the contract of agency and move on into the next part of contract act as well. Okay, let us see what we completed. Let me summarize. Almost around 7-8 pages content we already completed out of 12 pages. Meaning of agency completed, essentials of an agency completed, modes of agency completed, agency by estoppel, ratification, extent of agent's authority, sub-agent, substituted agent, meaning of substituted agent, differences between sub-agent and substituted agent. Up to there we have completed. Now we are coming into the next segment called as duties and rights of an agent. Duties and rights of an agent. Okay. See here. First one, duties of agent means what an agent should do. What are the duties of a agent? So whatever we have already discussed, so many points will get repeated here in a different way. Before we go on, let's sum up whatever we discussed in the last class. Agent is a person appointed by a person called as a principal in order to act on his behalf. Since he don't wanted to act directly, he will ask another person to act on his behalf. That person is called as a agent. This is point number one. Agent will always be very much diligent and caretaking while doing the business. So because of the acts of agent will become the acts of the principal in 99% of the cases. Means act of the agent is not the act of agent, will be treated as if like the act of principal itself. Therefore wrong agency will make principal to stand at risk. Therefore we should take reasonable care when appointing or declaring a person as a agent. So in that there are so many kinds of agency creations are there. General agency creation is there, agency by necessity is there, agency by ratification is there, agency by emergency is there. Like that so many things we already discussed in the last class. Later what we discussed is, if a agent does anything, if a agent does anything which is within his authority, whether the act done is correct or wrong, principal only will become liable to the third party. Who will be liable? Principal will be liable to the third party, but agent will be liable to the principal. Agent will be liable to the principal. That is what we discussed. Now we are going to read the concept called as duties and rights of agent. First let us read the duties of agent, and then I will give time for you to read. See here. See here. Duties of an agent. What are the duties of an agent? Let us see. First one, duty to execute a mandate. Duty to execute mandate. Sir, what do you mean by duty to execute a mandate? Means always whenever agent is appointed, principal will give some instructions to the agent and ask that agent to follow the instructions. Mandate means instructions to be strictly followed. Who will give instructions to follow? Principal. To whom he will give? Agent. See, agent should perform the work which he has been appointed to do. Any failure in respect would be making the agent absolutely responsible for the principal's loss. What does it mean? See, listen, I will give you our table. Principal can do something. Agent is expected to do that. Agent has not done that or has done that in a wrong way. In these two cases, what will happen? Agent will become liable to third party or principal liable to third party. Principal liable to third party, agent will be liable to the principal. That's what he wanted to tell. See here. Here we are not talking about third party discussion. Here we are talking about principal agency duties. Agent should perform the work which he has been appointed to do. For what purpose I appointed you, you must do that. That is number one. Any failure to do like that would make agent absolutely responsible, and there is no condition, absolute responsibility for principal's loss. Means whatever the loss caused to the principal because of your irresponsibility, you should only pay him back. Okay. One case law also I have given. Pannalal Jankidas versus Mohanlal. A commission agent purchased goods for his principal and stored them in a godown pending for their dispatch. The agent was under instructions to insure them. Means what? There is a cotton. Cotton will be sold to person in Maharashtra. Person originally is in Rajasthan. From Rajasthan he has to send all the cotton to Maharashtra in train. In the meanwhile, what they have to do? They have to put that cotton in a godown, and that cotton godown should be insured such that even if any loss is caused to cotton inside, they will get insurance. But agent did not do that. He actually charged premium for insurance but failed to insure. Means what? He took money for paying the insurance but he did not pay the insurance. The goods were lost in an explosion in Bombay Harbour. The agent was held responsible or held liable to compensate the principal for his loss minus the amount received under the Bombay Explosion Compensation Ordinance. Sorry, remaining things if you forget, no problem. But the crux of the entire case law is standing on one small foundation, that whenever principal gives instructions for you to do something, if you fail to do, because of that principal incurred any loss, it is your responsibility to indemnify him. Next. Duty to follow instructions or customs. Okay. Sir, already this was done, sir? This is different. This one is mandate. Means what? Any specific performance if I ask you to do, if you don't do. This is general instructions in doing the business. See here. An agent is bound to conduct the business of his principal according to the direction given by the principal. General. Every day how to do, he will give direction. Or in the absence of any such direction. Sir, my principal did not give any direction to me. That means I have to sit and sleep. No. Sometimes, I told you in the last class as well, when we started with the agency, from the nature of business, 80% of the acts that you have to perform has to be understood. Clear? Means, you need not tell everything to the agent to do something. From the ecosystem in which you are operating, you should only have the common sense of working in that way. Are you understanding the point or not? See, I will give you one example for you to understand. Okay, this is not relevant to agency, but you should understand what is natural learning. Okay, listen. When you are at the age of 2 years, 1.5 2 years, parents will make us to learn the words. Okay, parents will make us to learn the words. Means if it is whatever the mother tongue that the household speaks, so they will slowly try to make. Means they will push some words into their mind first. So amma, appa, like that they will push some words. Okay, then they will start speaking it. Means directions are given by parents to their children when they were 1.5 year old. Slowly maturity will go on rising. 2 years, 2.5 years, they will listen to the things and they will understand. By the end of 3rd, 4th year, the words they speak, in that 95% are untaught by the family members, learnt by them naturally from the ecosystem. Do you agree with my statement or not? You should tell. Everyone. Means what you understood from this example, I'm not going to explain agency through this example. I wanted to tell you learning through the ecosystem. Means here the ecosystem is the mother tongue or the location where we are located. Means what? Natural learning is the best learning in our life, because any person can tell you 20%, 30%, but we should understand from the ecosystem in which we are staying what knowledge we need to take. So therefore agent also same. Principal cannot tell each and everything you have to do in the business. I can tell to some extent, but I can't tell so many things. That has to be understood from the nature of the business in which you are working. So that has to be understood from the nature of business in which you are working, and the agent has to act in such way. Means principal cannot give instructions always. If we give directions, you have to do. If we do not give directions, that does not mean that you should not act. You should act by the circumstances. That is duty. So in the absence of direction, according to the custom, means the patterns, according to the general behavior which prevails in doing the business of the same kind at the place where the agent conducts the business. Okay, so the point is wherever you do the business will not be done in the same way in the different places. The place where I am doing the business, the place where I am doing the business in another city, both will not be same. So try to understand clearly. Agent should accustom to the circumstances of the trade prevailing in the place in which he is carrying on the business, and he has to conduct his duties. So agent may not be given with instructions always. Point 1 completed. Point 2. When agent acts otherwise means other than directions given or other than customs of trade prevailing, simply if we do any overaction, any loss be sustained, he must make it good to his principal. Profit anything occurred, he must account for it and give to the principal. Simply to tell, agent does a mistake or agent is not doing as per directions, loss occurred, you have to break the loss and give to the principal. Profit came by the mistake itself, you should give back the profit to the principal. Example just for your understanding, you can read. Next, duty to take reasonable care and skill. Listen, it is very, very important. I am a principal, you are a agent, my goods are with you. If it is not my goods, if these are your goods only, how you will take care? You will just throw them away, na? You will just don't care, you will be negligent. If it is your material, if it is your books, or if it is your goods, what care you will take? Same care and diligence. Diligence means it will be called as taking reasonable attention. Taking reasonable attention on that particular thing, whatever the duty you are carrying on is called as a reasonable care and skill. See there, an agent is bound to conduct the business of agency with as much skill as generally possessed by the persons engaged in similar business. Okay, sir, what does it mean? For example, mine is a cloth business. I started in Chennai. Okay, branch in Chennai, main office in Hyderabad. Agent in Chennai is appointed for the language problem. Means the person in Hyderabad, obviously they speak in different language. Person in Tamil Nadu obviously will speak Tamil, undoubtedly. So what is the point here? Agent is in Hyderabad. Okay, if he can't speak in the language of the locality where he wanted to set the branch, he will appoint such person who is having a versatile speaking in that particular local language. So for example, let us say there is a principal in Hyderabad. They kept me as an agent in Chennai to take care of their Chennai branch business. Clear? Now listen carefully. What I need to do? What I need to do is, I should take that much skill which others in the similar business in that locality are taking. Means this point will always pin out and tell that observe the surroundings of the business. Surroundings means you should not again take literally the surroundings. Where is the wall, where is the dustbin? Not that. Business surroundings, commercial surroundings. So you should see all the commercial surroundings around you. Means how business is done by others, how business is done by my neighbor in the similar business, how this fellow is doing the business, that much care I should also take. Like that you should behave. So most of the times agent duties are linked to observation to the ecosystem. Next, if the agent acts negligently, same concept again. If agent acts negligently, any loss caused, he has to compensate. Example I have given you. Next, agent duty to communicate with the principal. Communicate with the principal. See, it's not emergency. Emergency situations like agent is not in a position to communicate with the principal. He has to act in order to protect the principal from the loss. That is a agency by emergency. Now we are not going to talk about agency by emergency. Whenever in the business deal difficulty occurs, means you are in a dilemma. Agent is in a dilemma, whether to say yes, whether to say no. There is a problem in their duties. Whether I can do this duty or not, I cannot. I got a doubt. Similar business law, no one got this problem. Therefore, I can't even observe the ecosystem and take a decision. This is called as a difficulty. Whenever any difficulty occurs to the agent in performing his duties, it is the duty of the agent in cases of difficulty to use reasonable diligence, reasonable attention in communicating with the principal and seeking his instruction. So don't act on your own. Take the consent of the principal and then act. Next, agent's duty to pay sums received for principal. Okay, listen. Agent is appointed in Chennai. Principal is in Hyderabad. Principal sent goods to agent and said sell them in Chennai. Sold. 1 lakh recovered. 1 lakh I will deduct my commission. 20,000. 80,000 I have to give to the principal. That is your duty. Subject to deductions, agent is bound to pay all his to pay his principal all sums received on his account. Next, let us first read this one. G and G, H, I, let us complete first. G, duty not to make a secret profit. Listen again, I am repeating. There is nothing, repeat again, there is nothing prohibiting agent from making profit. Repetition again. What is the agency? I will be in Hyderabad, you will be in Chennai, you will do a business, profit will come. In that profit you will take commission, I will take the balance part as a principal. Is a logic. Means a share of profit is given to you or not? Yes. That's what I am also telling. Agent can make profit. Agent cannot make secret profit. Means what? Whenever any transaction happened at the branch where the agent is appointed, agent must disclose all the facts and the profits made. For example, I am the agent, you are the principal, you are in Hyderabad, I am in Chennai. You put complete trust on me, belief on me, faith on me, and you said that please take care of Chennai business. I am taking care. Invoice has to be written. I sold, for example, ours is a furniture business. I sold a very big sofa set. Okay. Principal gave me instruction. We purchased it for 1 lakh. You can sell it somewhere between 1,30,000 to 1,50,000 depending on the bargaining power of the buyer. But don't sell below 1,30,000. Okay. 1 lakh we manufactured it. We need a profit of at least 30,000-40,000 on that. Sell it between 1,30,000 and 1,50,000. Maximum possible, try to sell it 1,50,000. If not possible, slowly come down, slash down the prices, but you have no right to sell below 1,30,000. This is an instruction given by the principal to the agent. Agent also doing that, but agent mind will get polluted one day when money is involved. What agent has done? One customer came. What that customer said? I want this sofa set. He said, sir, it is 1,35,000. 1,35,000. Okay. Or 1,45,000 he said. 1,45,000. That person said that no, please reduce. He said, sir, maximum 5,000 I can reduce. 1,40,000. He said, sir, okay, 1,40,000 he has given. Understood? Now this agent is there na. This agent said to that customer, sir, do one thing. For 1,30,000 you transfer through bank account. For balance 10,000, you pay me in cash. Okay, that person, for him anything is okay na. He gave 10,000 cash and he gave 1,30,000 in a check in favor of the principal. To the principal he wrote an invoice, sofa set sold for 1,30,000. Now what he has done? He has not done profit. He has now done a secret profit of 10,000. Adi fraud. I think everyone understood the logic clearly. Respond, all the online students. Clear? Yeah. So he did not make profit. He made a secret profit. He is not good. He is a fraud. So it is a duty of the agent not to make a secret profit in the business of agency. His relationship is a fiduciary. That's what I said. Ethical. I'm believing you and I'm giving you my business. Don't cheat me. Fiduciary. Next. Secret profit means any advantage obtained by the agent over and above his agreed remuneration and which he would not have been able to make it in his position as an agent. Normally, why you will get the 10,000? Yeah, 1,40,000 should go to principal. Principal will deduct the commission and he will pay you. That is the how the business deal will happen. How you will get a right to take the profit directly, 10,000. Fraud, that's a secret profit. Okay. Next, duty to render another important thing. Listen carefully. What is the duty to render proper accounts? Agent ki most important habit means every day he should do is prepare proper accounts. Sir, what do you mean by proper accounts? Accounts, okay. Proper accounts means what? Whenever transaction happens, you have to write the transaction as it is. Don't tinker with them. Don't tamper with them. Don't change them. Like previous example. Sale happened for 1,40,000. 10,000 rupees you took in cash and books lo only 1,30,000 came. That is not a proper account. That is only accounts. Proper accounts means true and fair view. You should prepare books of accounts in such a manner that it should be as per the accounting standards. And every rupee should be accounted. Then principal can deduct commission and pay you. If you cheat him every time, how can he pay? So, an agent is bound to render proper accounts to his principal on demand. Rendering account does not mean showing the accounts, but the accounts are supported by vouchers. Beautiful. Means what? Accounts, throw it on his face. Ledger. Throw it. No. Ledger la you gave so many transactions. Na? Each and every transactions, I want bills. I want vouchers. I want invoices. I want tax invoices. I want credit bills. I want any credit note. Whatever is there, I want everything on my table. Means you should provide me. Sir, ledger it is there, sir, receipt, I don't know where it is. Then agent is doing some fraud. So therefore, duty to render proper accounts. Na? You should prepare proper accounts on demand. Every day you need not give. For example, principal will tell, every 1 week, send me the report. Then you have to send. Sometimes within a week itself he will get a doubt and he will tell, on Thursday what is our sale, you send me the report. Means you should send along with all the other connected documents. Next, duty not to delegate. This point already we completed. Normally agent do not get a right to delegate his powers to some other person. We read in sub-agent concept. If you remember, sub-agent concept we already read. So an agent cannot lawfully employ to perform acts which he is expressly or implied to undertake unless the ordinary custom of the trade. Already we read construction business or sub-agency is implied. Already we read in the last class or not? Everyone reply. Sub-agency we read or not? Same concept. Okay. Next. Duty not to use any confidential information received in the course of agency against the principal. Means principal gave some confidential information to agent. He is leaking that information to others. Obviously principal only will be at risk. Na? That's what he cannot do. That's why the agent should not reveal any kind of confidential information to anyone. This is what he wanted to convey here. One line. There is no explanation also for that. It's a small point. Okay. Next. After that, one point is still there for us. Duty to avoid conflict of interest. Duty to avoid conflict of interest. Okay. Sir, what do you mean by conflict of interest? Listen. See, first point number 1. Let us read the first two boxes. Third box is example, optional. If you want, you can read, or else you can leave. But first 2 points you should not leave. If an agent deals on his own account in the business of agency, sir, what do you mean by on his own account? Means whenever, for example, I am having a business called as example Koushik's Paathashala. It's a name of a brand. We registered that brand also. So Koushik's Paathashala is a brand. If mine is an online business, completely it went online. There is no physical business, so agency concept does not apply for me. Example, let us say Koushik's Paathashala is launching its offline business in Chennai. Example. Now what will happen? Now one of you I kept as an agent to look after that business in Chennai. You said that, yes sir, believe in me, I will take everything, take care, everything I will do. Yes sir. One student came to you. He said, sir, I want Koushik sir direct access classes and financial management classes at interlevel. You know na, one of our AFM student has now got 98. Highest mark in India is now ours. 98 marks in AFM. Highest mark in entire India for AFM is mine now. Means our student has got 98 marks in CA final AFM. This time we got 81 exemptions in CA final AFM, highest by anyone in India. CA final AFM. CA internal anyway we will create miracle. CA final also we got highest mark, 98 marks in CA final AFM. Imagine 98 marks in CA final. Yes or no? It's a great inspiration or not for many. So the point is, let us say for example, I appointed you as a agent to take care of my business in Chennai. You said, oh, okay sir, you give me, I will show you miracle. You shown miracle. What you have done, what ideology is, what actually you should do, you sold books. For example, CA Foundation charts book is there. One CA Foundation student came. He said, I want Koushik sir color chart book for CA Foundation. He asked the price. You said some 300, 400 rupees, you said. Immediately that person said, okay sir, take this 300 or take this 400. He paid amount, you gave the book also. Mistake is not in delivery of book, you gave book. Everything is done. What you have to do now, bill has to be given. Koushik's Paathashala in the name of a company, it will be ventured, that invoice will be there. In the name of that invoice you have to give the bill. You did not give that way. You took the money and you did not give any kind of bill to him. You just sold the money. You just sold that book and got the money. This is called as doing a transaction without having principal involved in that. Now where principal is involved, where Koushik's Paathashala is involved, where Koushik Mukhesh is involved in this deal, I am nowhere related to this transaction. That should not happen. Means whenever any contract of agency is carried on, you should do everything on behalf of principal. You should not do on your own account. Okay, that conflict of interest you should not bring. Means when you start doing the business for you, you will put you into the foreground and put the principal in the background, which should never happen. He believed you. Therefore, see here, according to section 215, if an agent deals on his own account in the business of the agency without obtaining the consent of his principal and informing with all the material circumstances which have come to his knowledge on the subject, principal may cancel the transaction if the case shows either that any material fact has been dishonestly concealed from him by the agent, or that the dealings of agent have been disadvantageous to him. In simple language, if I have to conclude this, whenever principal comes to know that agent is doing the business on his own account without even telling that he is doing on behalf of principal, he can cancel the transaction. Okay, he can cancel the transaction if any facts are materially disclosed, dishonestly concealed. Concealed means hidden, or anything is disadvantageous to him. Directly he can cancel the transaction. Means what he can do, he can tell to the third party, I am not responsible for that sale. He is doing something which even I did not inform him to do. So I will cancel the transaction. To the third party, he will only be responsible. Next, if an agent without knowledge of the principal deals in the business of agency on his own account. Instead of principal, the principal entitled to claim from the agent any benefit that is resulted. Means first I will cancel the transaction. Second, you received money for that book or not, that money will be taken by the principal. First of all, everyone tell me A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. 9 points. Not only I, J, 10 points. 10 duties of agent we completed now. Are you all confident about all the 10 duties or not? Everyone in the class. Okay. Do one thing. I will give you 2 minutes time. I will make it full screen. Please read all the duties properly. Sir, agency will come for 6 marks in exam. 100% question will be there. Don't be negligent. Indemnity, guarantee, bailment pledge, agency. Most important is agency. Agency is most important among all. Everyone, have you completed reading? If you are thorough with all the points, I will go into the next set. Rights of agent, I will go. Those who are live, please confirm whether you have completed. If you are done, I will go into the next one. Okay. Let us move on to the next set. Now we are coming into, now we completed duties. Next set we are going into rights of an agent. What is rights of agent? So let us see what are all the rights of a agent. See here. First one, right of retain out of the sums received on the principal's account. Right of retain out of sums received on principal's account. Sir, what does this mean? Listen. What do you mean by this is, agent when sitting in the agency in a branch outside the premises of the principal, some advances he will pay out of his own pocket to one person, that he can recover. Some other basic expenses he incurred, that he can recover. And whenever any remuneration is fixed for him, for example, principal said like this, you are entitled to a remuneration of 2% commission on everyday sale. So every day when you transfer the amount to the principal's account, 2% you can deduct as your commission and balance you can give him. These are the three things that you can recover. Money for due for advances, expenses properly incurred, and remuneration. Three things. So simply to tell, there are three things that you can recover. A, R, E. A for advances, R for remuneration, E for expenses. What he can recover? A, R, E he can recover. Advances, remuneration, expenses incurred. All these three he can recover back. Next. Next one. You have a right of remuneration. Right to remuneration. Who? Agent. The agent in normal course is entitled to the remuneration as per the contract. Agent will be appointed by the principal. At the time of appointing agent, he will tell remuneration, as per the contract I will pay you. Sir, there is no contract, sir. Listen, this is more important. Agent ki what principal is expecting? The principal will give 100 things are there. Principal will give 20-30 instructions. Agent has to understand the ecosystem, learn the business, learn how to conduct the business in that ecosystem, and he has to perform the duties. We already read. Everything may not be said by the principal. It is your duty to learn. Same way, remuneration is not fixed between principal and agent does not mean agent will do free of cost. Normally in the course of trade, now principal has to do this. Normally from the course of trade, what generally principals are paying the agent in the same kind, that kind of situation will come. So if remuneration is fixed by the contract, pay as per the contract. If no remuneration is fixed by the contract, generally in the conduct of the business in that locality, how much remuneration generally they are paying, that much you have to pay. So in the absence of any agreed amount of remuneration, usual remuneration which is customary, means which is general habit in that business, in that locality, other principals might have appointed their agents, how much they are getting, that much you should pay me. Next, if there is a agent who is guilty, means offense of a misconduct, bad behavior in the business, is not entitled to any remuneration in respect of that part of business which he has committed the misconduct. So remuneration I will pay you when, if your conduct is good. If there is a proven misconduct, that proven is important here, that just a principal should not feel that there is a misconduct. Court should tell. That's why the word used is guilty. Court will prove you as guilty. Principal will not prove you as guilty. Principal, to escape the payment intentionally, he will tell you are guilty. So you should not tell, court should tell. So if court declares that agent has done a misconduct in the business, you need not pay him remuneration. Very, very important is, remuneration only need not be paid. Ante A or ELA R will not be paid. Whether misconduct or good conduct, advances and expenses I can recover. Everybody answer. Understood the point clearly? Everybody understood the concept clearly? Yep. Next one. Next one. So what we read now? Rights of agent, first right to retain out of the sums. Next one, right to remuneration. Next one, right to indemnity. Right to indemnity. Okay, see here. Right of indemnification for the lawful acts. The principal is bound to indemnify. Indemnify means cover the risk of loss of the agent against all consequences of lawful acts done in exercise of his authority. The right to indemnity extends to all losses and expenses incurred by the agent in the conduct of business. Simply to tell, lawfully I have done the business. Lawfully I have done the business. In that business, doing that business, I incurred a loss. Agent incurred a loss. Means I kept some money out of my pocket. Okay, since you did not provide me money, I provided money out of my pocket. I does the business for you, and I incurred a loss in that business. Lawfully I have done everything. See, loss should not come in the business. If loss comes in the business, you are doing unlawful act. This is a foolish thing that you can tell to anyone. Shall I tell you why? Amazon in India never made a profit in the last 14 years. Tata group la around 11 to 12 companies are still making losses. And Tata company is a fraud company. Amazon is a fraud company. And loss making companies are all frauds. Loss will occur eventually whether or not we do anything. Loss will bound to come. When business has a habit of giving profit, it will also give a loss also. When your life is filled with happy moments, you should also accept the sad moments in life. When good is there, bad will be there. When light is there, dark will be there. Understood the point or not? Agent appointed, profits A should come, losses also will come. Principal only should bear that loss. If agent has put his money in the business on behalf of principal and incurred a loss out of it, my loss also you should only cover. Who should cover? Principal A is bound to cover the losses. For lawful acts, intentionally if you do any unlawful act and led to loss, for that I will not be responsible, agent only should do. So, right of indemnification against acts done in good faith. Listen. Where an agent acts in good faith means with good intention in mind, no intention to cheat. On the instruction of principal, agent is entitled for indemnification for any loss or damage from the principal. However, agent cannot claim any reimbursement or indemnification for any loss etc. arising out of the acts done by him in violation of any laws of the country. Means as per law, if you do any loss occurred to you, I will be giving back you all the loss that you have incurred. Almost both the points are similar. So in simple language, if I have to tell summary of both the concepts, any lawful act done by the agent in the course of his agency, principal only have to give him back. Next, non-liability of employer of agent to do a criminal act. Sir, what is this? See here, where one person employs another to do an act which is criminal in nature, the employer is not liable to the agent either upon express or implied promise to indemnify him again as the consequences of that act. Sir, I did not understand. Read this concept first. Read the concept first. First read the concept, then you will understand. Read this paragraph fully. This paragraph you are seeing now. Read this fully, then you will definitely understand. Where one person employs another person, okay, to do an act, means A appointed B to do an act which is illegal, which is criminal in nature. Okay, A appointed B to do some criminal act, and A said to B, on my behalf you do. So B is the agent of A. B, go and kill him, he said. If any police complaint or anything is lodged against you, I will indemnify you, he said. Those indemnifications do not work. because the agency itself is created for an unlawful purpose. Next. Where is it? See here. See, agent's lien on principal's property. Sir, what is this concept? Agent's lien on principal's property. See, principal kept his goods in Chennai. Principal is in Hyderabad. Agent is in Chennai. Godown was purchased. In that they kept his goods, furniture. There are around 500 sofa sets are there, 500 almaras are there. Okay, there are safe lockers are there, another 500-600. Very big godown, and he dumped all the furniture from Hyderabad to Chennai to do the business in Chennai, agency. Sorry, up to there everything is okay. What principal have to do? ARE has to be given back. Any advances paid by the agent, any remuneration liable to be paid to the agent, any expenses incurred by the agent for the principal's business, these three things principal has to give back to the agent. Principal is not giving. Now what agent can do? Agent can take all the goods to that value. ARE put together 50 lakhs he has to get. 50 lakhs worth goods in the godown, he can take them, keep it with him in his possession. You release my payment, I will release these goods. Like this he can do. That's called as a lien. Agent should be lawfully entitled to receive from the principal a sum of money. Just now I told the ARE total 50 lakh. By way of commission earned, disbursement made, everything, whatever ARE. Commission means remuneration or any other expenses incurred. ARE amount has to be received. The property over which the lien to be excised should belong to the principal. Go down, the principal goods are there, and it should have been received by the agent in his capacity. Yes, as an agent only he sent. During the course of ordinary duties of agent, yes, he sent. The agent has only a particular lien. Particular lien means only on those goods I will have a lien. Okay, whatever principal gave to me to sell, on those particular goods I have a lien. You cannot go to principal's house, take his gold, everything, and tell that I will give you only when you pay back. No, that right you don't have. Particularly on particular goods I gave you, on that you have a lien. Understood the lien concept clearly, everyone? Reply. Done. Next issue. Okay, next. However, agent's right of lien is lost, means he cannot exercise lien in the following cases. What cases? When the possession of the property is lost, means what? Already agent sold goods to customers. Possession is lost. You can't go to customers and take back. No, that can't be there. Next, when the agent waives his right, waiver may arise out of agreement or express or implied. Means what? They already have an agreement. Principal said to agent, if I don't pay you ARE, you can file a case against me in the court, but you cannot exercise lien. Sign on that agreement, then only become an agent. He signed on that. Now you don't have a right to lien because you waived your right. Waived means leaving. The agent's lien is subjected to contract to contrary. Same. There is a contract that lien should not be exercised. To the contrary means against to that you cannot go. Next. Right to compensation for injury caused by the principal's neglect. See, principal sent goods to agent. Those goods are explosive in nature. He did not tell to agent. Agent don't know what is the nature of that good. He opened it, blasted on his face. Severely injured or severely caused any kind of financial or physical injury. Either financial injury or physical injury caused. Principal is liable to pay him. The principal must make compensation to the agent in respect of injury caused to such agent by principal's neglect or want of skill. That's every principal owe to his agent the duty of care not to expose him to unreasonable risk. I have given example. Okay. With this, we completed another most important and the bigger segment called as rights of agent is also completed. So we completed duties of agent, We completed rights of agent. Read the rights of agent. Everyone, please read carefully, complete it. Because take this as an opportunity to complete everything. After this, again, don't put any point of reading. This should be your revision, come learning, everything should be completed. So read properly, slowly you read, no problem. Completed. So next one, have you all completed? Reply now. I have given you 5 minutes time to read all the 5 points. Hopefully I think you completed. Okay, next. See, I will go into the most important one first. Termination of agency. Termination of agency. Okay. See here. Name of the concept is termination of agency. Sir, what is this termination of agency? Principal and agent created a agency contract. Okay. They wanted to now close. When the agency will close? When the agency will come to an end? We should know or not? See here. Acts of the parties. When the agency will close? Sir, one thing I can tell. If agent does anything other than what principal said, principal can terminate. When principal is not doing whatever he is promised, it can terminate. Yes or no? Or death can be reason for termination of agency. Like that, basic common sense, we can understand so many things. Let's see one on one basis. Mutual agreement. Relationship between principal and agent may be terminated at any stage by a mutual agreement. Means both of them agreed and they decided to close the agency. Number one. Revocation by principal means agency contract is taken back by principal. Principal may revoke the authority given to an agent at any point of time and the agency would come to an end. There is only one exception, which would be in the case of irrevocable agency. Irrevocable agency means irrevocable. Either by mutual agreement it should close or by any other reason it should close. Principal cannot revoke it. If that be the terms and conditions, for example, principal and agent entered into contract of agency with the irrevocable agency agreement, then other reasons should terminate, but principal has no right to revoke the agency. Other than that, in all other cases, at any time, it is my own business, I will stop you whenever I want. Next, renunciation by agent. Agency may also be terminated by express renunciation of agent, provided agent gives the principal a reasonable notice. Renunciation means what? Renunciation means I am giving my agency to some other person and I am leaving. Sorry, listen now. whenever there is a revocation, okay, see here, compensation for revocation by the principal or renunciation by the agent, okay, revocation will be done by principal, renunciation will be done by agent. Renunciation means closing the agency. Agent himself said that Babu namaste, I don't wanted to continue with you, he only went out. Revocation la principal is saying go out. So both the cases, one case la principal is terminating, one place la agent is terminating, okay, see here, in both cases compensation for revocation by principal or renunciation by agent. If agent all of a sudden said that I am leaving and going, now principal is affected. When principal is saying agent go out, now agent is affected. Whenever any affected party is there, compensation must be paid. If there is an express or implied contract that agency should be continued for any period of time, the principal must make compensation to the agent or the agent to the principal for revocation or renunciation. Simply to tell, sudden renunciation by agent, sudden revocation by principal, if at all made, then automatically you have to pay him compensation, okay. For example, principal entered into agency contract with agent for 1 year. 1 year completed, he said let us revoke it. Now compensation will not be paid because I intentionally said everything very clearly that only for 1 year we are going to continue. In that case it will not be. That's why he said agency should be continued for any period of time, and a period is not mentioned. We said let us continue, you should give me a previous intimation. No, directly you said go out, pay compensation, I will leave. Notice of revocation or renunciation. Reasonable notice must be given of such revocation or renunciation, otherwise damage thereby resulting to the principal or to the agent must be made good by the another. Means you have to give me a prior notice before revocation or renunciation. Revocation done by principal, renunciation done by agent, you should give me prior intimation and do that. All of a sudden if you do any, I am an agent, I don't have any work, I am doing only yours, suddenly you said leave, where I will go? My all losses I incurred, you should only recover. Same with the renunciation by agent. Revocation and renunciation may be expressed or implied. That is normal point only. When termination of agent's authority takes effect as to agent and as to the third persons as well. Sir, I did not understand. First read this first paragraph. The termination of authority of an agent does not, so far as regards the agent, take effect before it becomes known to him, or so far as regards to the third person before it becomes known to them. Sir, difficult point, sir. Read it once. Read it once. Okay, see here. Let us read the heading again. When termination of agent's authority takes effect as to agent and as to the third persons. Sir, what does it mean? See, A gave goods to B. A is in Hyderabad, B is in Chennai. A gave goods to B. Said B, B, sell these goods. Okay. Now, on one day, A sent a notice through post. I am terminating you as a agent. Who said? A said to B. Postal notice sent. When, let us say on 17th of November 2025. Okay. A sent a notice to B. I am terminating you. Okay. It reached B on 20th. 3 days it has taken. On 19th, after letter is sent but before received by the B, B sold goods worth 1 lakh. Okay. Now there are 3 parties involved in this. Principal, agent, there is some third party also. Okay. So in this case, see here, termination of agent's authority takes effect, means it will come into existence as to the agent and as to the third persons also. Means what? The termination of authority of the agent does not take effect before it knows to him. Means does not comes into existence before he know. I know only on 20th. Na? After 20th, if anything I do, I will be liable. But before that, I am still a agent to you only, because I don't know that you terminated me. Everybody answer. Understood the acts of the parties concept clearly? Yeah? Everyone? Very good. Next one. Next one. Operation of law. So termination of agency can also happen as per operation of a law. The most obvious mode of putting on end to an agency is to do what the agent had undertaken to perform. Okay. Thus, if the contract is performed, the agency gets terminated. Means what? What you should not do, if you have done that, automatically the agency will get terminated. So the most obvious mode of putting on end to an agency is to do what the agent had undertaken to perform. Thus, if a contract is performed, the agency gets terminated. Means what? Two things. You have done what you should not do. Or for example, principal said to agent, okay, we have to construct that building. We have to construct that building. For construction, I am putting as a agent. Construction completed. Agency will be terminated. That's it. So, the most obvious method and a general method of putting end to the agency is to do what agent had undertaken to perform. Undertaken means promised to perform. Thus, if the contract is performed, agency will get terminated. Over, my work is completed. Expiry of time. I said our agency will be for 3 years. 3 years completed, now automatically agency will get terminated. Next. Next. Other reasons of termination. Death or I told now all these points. Common sense and we can answer. Death or insanity. Death or insanity of the principal or agent amounts to the termination. Insolvency also same. Destruction of subject matter. Means what? See, principal is doing a business. For that business, agent is the agent working. Business he closed. Until subject matter closed, agency cannot continue. Next, party is becoming alien enemy. This is extremely impossible thing. Once upon a time when there are two countries involved, this problem will come. Now that problem will not come. Next, irrevocable agency. Which one? Irrevocable agency. Where agency cannot be terminated, it is called as irrevocable agency. Where agent has himself an interest in the property which forms what of subject matter of agency, the agency cannot, in the absence of express contract, can be terminated. So simply to tell, any agency which cannot be terminated by principal, we call it as a irrevocable agency. Means revocation, renunciation are there na, it irrevocable. Means a principal cannot revoke this agency. As per agreement we agreed that you cannot revoke it. Okay, either death should happen, insanity should happen, or alien enemies should happen, or a destruction of subject matter should happen, or operation of law should happen, or mutual agreement should happen, or renunciation should happen. Revocation cannot happen. Where revocation is not possible, we call it as a irrevocable agency. Irrevocable agency. Next. Liability to the third parties. Liability to the third party. I told now so many times, principal will be liable to the third parties for the acts of the agent. For all the acts done by the agent within his authority. If agent has done something out of the scope of his authority, then agent only will be liable to the third party. Later principal will recover the loss from agent. That is different. To the third party, generally principal only will become liable. On this basic ground understanding, let's read and complete the chapter. An agent does all the acts on behalf of the principal, but incurs no personal liability. The liability remains that of the principal only. But in some cases, agent is personally liable. In the following cases, principal will be liable. When principal liable to the acts of agent which are within the scope of his authority. I told na already. Principal is bound by notice given to the agent provided notice is in the course of business. Next. Next. When the agent has without authority done the acts or incurred obligations to third persons on behalf of principal, principal is bound by such acts or obligation if he has by his words or conduct induced such third person to believe that such acts or obligations are within the scope of the agent's authority. Actually agent has done an act which is not within his authority, but the behavior of principal made third party to believe that he is having that power. Sir, example, sir, see the screen. A consigns goods to B, means A sent goods to B for sale and gives him instruction not to sell under a fixed price, means he said 100 rupees, that's all, don't sell below. C, being ignorant of B's instructions, enters into contract with B to buy the goods at a price lower than reserved price. A is bound by the contract. A is bound by the contract. Simply to tell, there is a agent, Mr. B in Chennai. There is a principal, A is the principal in Hyderabad, B is the agent in Chennai. A said to B clearly, sell only at 100 rupees, don't sell below. Board also he kept, principal kept the board on agency wall. This agent is eligible to sell only at 100. Any sale made below 100, I am not responsible. Any loss of the goods or any damage of the goods, I am not responsible. Then even then outsider enters into contract with agent, then outsider is principal is not liable to outsider. You did not tell anything. Normally what any person will know, I don't know that this is a branch, I don't know that he is an agent. I will generally go and I will buy at 90 rupees. That is not the mistake of the third party. So even after principal informing the outsiders that he has no authority to sell below 100, even then if outsider buy, outsider is responsible. Understood? If nothing is said, you are only responsible for that. Did you understand the example or not, everyone? Okay. Next. When agent exceeds his authority and when the part of what he does which is within his authority can be separated from the part which is beyond his authority, then principal is liable only to that part which is within his authority. Agent has done two acts, one within authority, one outside his authority. We can separate both of them. Then what is within his authority, principal is liable. Outside the authority, principal is not liable. Next. Liability for misrepresentation or fraud by agent when agent is acting within his authority. Agent is doing what principal asked him to do, but doing that in a fraudulent way. Principal is liable. Agent incompetent. Minor unsound money you kept. That for that you will only be liable. When agent does anything in emergency in good faith, principal only will become liable. When agent will become personally liable, when agent exceeds the authority and when the part of what he does which is within the scope of his authority cannot be separated from the part out of his authority, means agent has done something in that some part is within authority, some part is outside, but we can't separate both the transactions. Then agent is responsible. When he is working for a foreign principal, means whenever agent is working for a person outside India, since third party can't catch principal outside India, for all the acts agent is responsible. Very important point. Exam lo 4-5 times came. Agent is in India, principal is in foreign country, USA. Okay, generally act of agent ki principal liable, but principal is in USA. How can a third party catch him? So if you are a agent working for a foreign principal, agent is liable for the acts of agent, not the principal. Misrepresentation beyond his authority, any fraud done. For example, principal said to agent, do the cotton business in Chennai. I am doing real estate business, that too with fraud. For that I am not responsible because agent is acting beyond his authority. Next. When he is acting for a principal who cannot be sued on account of being a foreign ambassador. Just now I told na same point. Okay. Next. Liability of pretended agent. A pretended agent is a person who represents himself to be an agent of another, when in fact he has no authority from him. Whatsoever if the principal ratifies his acts as an agent, he has no liability. But if the principal refuses to ratify his acts, he becomes personally liable to third party for any loss or damage caused to him. Sir, what is this? See here. We read one concept called as agency by estoppel. Agency by estoppel, what we read? There what we read is principal will behave in such a way with the third party, third parties will believe that this fellow is a agent. Okay, reverse now. Principal is not telling to anyone that he is a agent. A person is telling himself that I am a agent to this fellow, and he is doing work on his behalf, on the behalf of that person. Now actually principal did not appoint you. Okay, so there is a agent, there is a person who is doing on behalf of another person. So A is doing on behalf of B. B did not appoint A. Okay, he is telling to everyone that I am a agent, I am a agent, I am a agent. Principal is silent or B is silent. Your silence is now taken as a estoppel, acceptance. If you ratify, then whatever the acts done by agent, you will be liable. If you do not ratify, agent will become personally liable to third party. Next. Person falsely contracting agent not entitled to performance. A person with whom a contract has been entered into in the character of agent is not entitled to require performance of it, which he was in reality acting not as an agent but on his own account. Simply to tell, any acts done by agent on his own account without putting principal name inside, we already read that point, agent will become personally liable. Okay, same concept. These are all duties of liability of the principal and agent to third parties. He liabilities will become the rights of the third party. Okay, with this, all the concepts inside the contract of agency, the biggest chapter in this particular segment of Contract Act is also successfully completed. Everybody please answer. Everyone understood all the concepts clearly? Okay, yeah. So with this, we completed another very important segment in our discussion called as contract of agency. So contract of agency has been successfully completed. What is pending for us is we have to do exam questions on contract of agency. Okay, all exam questions separately we will discuss. Anyway, on my YouTube channel I am planning a full workout sessions for CA foundation students. There I will do. But up to here, I think everyone is thorough with the entire chapter contract of agency. Everyone? Are you all clear? Yeah. Okay. So now we completed contract of agency. With this we are done with it.